Chapter 3 An Accident in the Snow. Claire and her aunt drove to the church that there was a strong wind, and snow started to fall again. Claire watched it through the car window, but she did not think about the snow or about Christmas. She thought about the witch and about the fire-colored thing that she saw on the top of the black tower after the storm fell. This thought stayed with her all evening, and she only half listened to the singing in the church. She could not get the story of the witch out of her head. When the Christmas singing was finished, she and Aunt Mint went back to the car through the snow. Now they came out over their shoes, and the night was very cold. The car made lines in the snow when they drove away from the church, and everything was white. White houses, white trees, white cars, people's white clothes. Soon they were in the little road outside the village, and there were no other cars. Only out driving was difficult. The car could not stop easily in the snow. Mint drove carefully, but with a worried face. They were in the road near the castle. Almin tried to drive slowly, but the car went faster and faster in the snow. Can't stop it, she said. And then the car went off the road and hit a tree. Almin poured her hands to her face and shook her eyes. Are you okay? Claire asked. Yes, I think so, said her aunt. They got out of the car and looked at it. I can't have it now, said Aunt. I must phone the garage in the village. Mr. Perkins can drive out and see it tomorrow. But now we must go home here. Claire looked across the street. She could see Genny castle. Aunt Minnie looked at the castle too, and Claire could read her aunt's thoughts. It was more than 2 miles from the road, but it was not a mile across the fields. Let's go across Walter Bruce's fields, said Aunt. I can't water on the road. She got a light from inside the car. Then they went into the field and began to walk through the snow. Claire tried to not look at the castle. Walter Briggs sat in the big chair in front of the fire in his cottage. There was a book about castles in his hand. There were other books in the little room, many of them were about castles too. Scott, Alexa sat by the fire. Walter knew the story that people in the village told about him. He's crazy, they said. And he knew this, and he knew the stories about the castle. People said it was a bad, dangerous place. He didn't try to stop these stories because people stay away when they heard them. And Walter didn't want people to go near the castle. He knew that the castle had secrets. He stopped reading and crossed his legs. Alexa, the cat, stood up. She walked into the kitchen without making a sound across to the window. The window was not quite shut, and she pushed it with her foot. When it was opened, Alexa something down to the snow. She began to walk up the castle. Walter opened his eyes. It's time. I went to bed, Alex, he said. Then he saw that the cat was not there, and he got up out of the chair and walked through the kitchen. Alexa, he said. He saw the open again, he said. Why did you go out on a night like this? Walter knew that the cat went up to the castle. He remembered other nights when people in the village heard songs and saw lights on the black tower. Nights when Walter shut his cottage doors and stayed inside. Walter tried to not think about these things. He loved his castle, but he knew that the village people were worried about it. The castle is a bad place, they said. Put it down. Walter did not want that to happen. I must stop you, Alex, he said, and took a light from a cupboard, pulling on his shoes and coat, and went out of the back door into the snow and the wind. I'm so cold, Claire thought. She announced Mint walked across the field. They could see Walter Bush's cottage half a mile away. Claire was worried about her aunt. How far could she walk? The old woman's face was straight and she was very, very tired. Claire took a light from out Mint, then put a hand on her aunt's arm. She headed her across the field to Walter Brooks' cottage. We must stop here for you to sit down, aunt, said Claire, above the sound of the wind. Her aunt was too tired to say anything. The front door of the cottage was shut, but Claire hit it with her hands. Mr. Burge, she called. There was no answer. She tried to open the door, but it stayed shut. Let's go round to the back, she told her aunt. They went round the back door of the cottage. Claire looked at the snout by the door. He's gone out, she thought. I can see his footprints in the snow. They're going up to the castle, but what is he doing up there? There was no time to think about this. Grant was cold and tired. Claire pushed open the back door of the cottage and they went inside. They found the room with the fire and now Mint sat on the chairs in front of it. Claire went to the kitchen and made her a cup of tea. When she came back, Aunt Mint's eyes were closed. Claire looked at her watch. The time was 11 o'clock. After 2 or 3 minutes, Aunt Mint opened her eyes. Here is some tea for you, Claire said. Thank you, Claire, said Aunt Mint. Her voice was weak. I'm a little better now. You can't waltz any more tonight, said Claire. No, I don't think I can, said Aunt. I'm going to find Mr. Bush, said Claire. Perhaps he can take us home in his cart. Aunt Mint looked worried. Where is he? She asked. I think he's up the castle, said Claire. There you can't, Aunt Mint began to say. I know about the castle, Aunt, she said. I'm not afraid. But she was afraid.